It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. In the news, the cities of Jesup, Odom, and Scriven all have scheduled elections this November. But after qualifying ended this past Friday, only the city of Jesup will have to have elections, as the cities of Odom and Scriven have their list of candidates and none are contested. So there will not have to be elections this November in the cities of Odom and Scriven. In Odom, Mayor Greg Rozier will serve another term as mayor, along with his current board of commissioners. They are Kevin Higgins, Ron Sluter, Clay Teston, Kathy Rozier, and Greg Leggett. Once again, all those qualified last week for re-election, all running unopposed, so no need for a November election. Same true for the city of Scriven. 3 council seats are up for re-election. They had 3 people qualify this past week. 2 incumbents, Tony Brinkley and Raquel Wright. Incumbent Adam Pruitt did not qualify for re-election, but John Royal did. So they have 3 seats filled, and again, no need for a November election in the city of Scriven. In Jesup, there will be elections as the mayor's race and the 3 council seats are all contested. After Friday's qualifying ended, the mayor's race will be a repeat of the race last go-around. Incumbent Mayor Ralph Hickox is being challenged again by Tyrone Johnson. Hickox won the last race over Johnson, but again, both men are seeking the position this November. In District 1, the incumbent Shirley Armstrong did not qualify for election, but 2 men did. Former Jesup Police Chief Perry Morgan and also former District 1 Commissioner Ricky Reddish qualified. So a 2-candidate race in District 1. In District 4, Stanley Todd, the incumbent, not seeking re-election. 2 candidates are Jonathan McCullough and Margaret Rawls. And in District 5, where Governor appointed Joe Roddy to serve out the remainder of Ray House's term, Joe Roddy not seeking to run for city commissioner. Again, former city manager Mike Deal qualified, as did Katrina Dumas. Both qualified in District 5. Mike Deal set to join us tomorrow on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Once again, the election date is Tuesday, November 7th. Campaign's underway. Until then, WIFO FM will follow the campaigns closely, bringing interviews with the candidates. But once again, no elections in Scriven and Odom, only contested races in the cities of Jesup. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, the Wayne County vote on the next SPLOST is not until March of 2024, but the deadline to get the referendum on the ballot in Atlanta is 90 days before that time period. So the County Commission, the cities of Jesup, Odom, and Scriven all have to come together and reach an agreement on what major projects will be put on the referendum, what the breakdown of the money will be for the county and the 3 cities of Jesup, Odom, and Scriven. The county has 3 projects they would like to see with the new SPLOST funds: security at the courthouse, a community center, and an equestrian center. Cities of Jesup, Odom, and Scriven have their wish list as well. Next step during negotiations to decide how the funding will work and the breakdown of the percentage of the funds to each municipality. Again, that next meeting is set for this Wednesday, August 30th at the William A. Zorn Airport. And WFOFM will continue to follow the negotiations between the county and the cities. Again, the vote on the next SPLOST set for March of 2024. City of Jesup is giving notice that a public meeting will be held to discuss a wastewater improvement project funded by Georgia's Clean Water State Revolving Fund on Tuesday, September 19th at City Hall at 10 a.m. The proposed project includes upgrades to the existing 301 South and 301 North pump stations and approximately 34,500 linear feet of new 8-inch, 16-inch, and 24-inch sewer force mains. New sewer infrastructure will receive wastewater from the southern region of Jesup and transport this flow to the existing water facility. The anticipated cost of the project is approximately $9,065,698. The purpose of the public meeting is to inform the public of the need for installation of the regional wastewater collection and transmission system to comply with the Georgia Water Quality Control rules and to encourage public involvement in the development of a plan to improve the wastewater collection and transmission system. During the public meeting, the city will attempt to identify public preferences for alternative methods of improving the city's wastewater facilities. These alternatives will be evaluated and included in the city's environmental review and planning document, the major planning document covering the wastewater conveyance and 212 projects. The environmental review and planning document and other information regarding the project is available for review at City Hall at 162 East Cherry Street between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And they state your participation is encouraged and considered essential to the selection and development of the final plan to be adopted. Prior to its approval by the state of Georgia Department of Natural Resources, comments are to be received in writing to Bill Schuman via email at bschuman@jesupgeorgia.gov. Once again, this public meeting is set for Tuesday, September 19th at 10 a.m. at City Hall. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes of news. Sheriff Mosley announced last week that his former deputy Weldon Tank Lawson has been arrested for the following: rape and conspiracy to violate the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Sheriff Mosley says an investigation was initiated after an allegation of criminal activity involving Lawson was made. A search warrant was conducted on Lawson's home earlier this month for electronic devices concerning the new charges. The day of the search warrant, Lawson was arrested for a firearm located during the search. He's currently being held at the Pierce County Detention Center due to the security risk of a former deputy knowing operations of the Wayne County Detention Center. To this date, Lawson's been charged with rape, conspiracy to violate the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, violation of oath of office, possession of a sawed-off shotgun, and willful obstruction of law enforcement. Sheriff Mosley wants to thank Chris Hamilton of the Jesup Police Department for their assistance during the search warrants. The case is ongoing. If anyone has information pertaining to this case, they're asked to contact Detective Kit Glider at 912-782-1978. If you have any information concerning criminal activity, Sheriff Mosley asks you to contact the Sheriff's Department at 912-427-5970. They state you can also leave an anonymous tip on their tip line at 912-427-5992. Tropical storm Idalia is forecast to become a major hurricane this week before it reaches the Gulf Coast of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis has already declared a state of emergency for 33 counties in Florida to ensure communities have the resources they need to prepare ahead of the storm's arrival. The storm is expected to hit landfall sometime this Wednesday. Could get quite a bit of rain from the tropical storm. Once again, Tropical Storm Idalia forecast to become a major hurricane this week. Expected to hit landfall sometime Wednesday in the state of Florida. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.